3 things to learn during lockdown. Let's have a look. Good evening, everyone. I'm Florian Heise, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. I have my stein of coffee, and I thought we'd look at just 3 suggestions for things that you can learn or do during the lockdown of our economy. A lot of people will be at home, and this is, frankly, an opportunity to do those projects, learn those skills, or read those books that you've been putting off just because life is life. So I thought I'd share 3 ideas and suggestions and some free resources that I think you might appreciate. So the first one, and it's probably an easy one, is reading. Read those books that you've never gotten around to reading. And there's 2 resources that I want to introduce everyone to, just in case you're not familiar with them. Now, the first one is Project Gutenberg. Now, Project Gutenberg, you can get, I'm not sure, over 50,000 or I don't know how many books. 60,000. Over 60,000 free ebooks. You can download them as PDFs. You can read them on the website. You can read them on even your Kindle or your iPhone. And it is fantastic. There's lots of great resources there. It's completely legal. Lots of historical works. So what I would do, rather than buying a historical work, and one I would recommend that everyone reads, and this is a book I would hope is a set text in all of our schools here in Australia, or it should be, is Meditations by the last of the good emperors, Marcus Aurelius. And I mean, you can see you can download it. You can even download it in Kindle, EPUB, HTML format. If you're not familiar with his work, it's a great introduction, I would say, to some elements of the Stoic philosophy. And it's just an easy read. It's a book everyone should read. Everyone should read. It should be a requirement at school. It really should. So thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if you're a fan of Aurelius's work, if you've read it. But a program. So this is Project Gutenberg, guys, and I'll link to all these websites that I'm going to show you in the references on my website. You can find it in the pinned comments below. But there's another program that I want to introduce you to, and this is Calibre, and it's an ebook library and conversion process. So I've got all these different books here. I've got Utopia, and it's loading it up. And this is by Sir Thomas More, Sir John Moore. Utopia is another great work that I think everyone should read. Everyone should be familiar with it. And now's an opportunity, to read some of those historical books. And this is a great program that you can use. It's for free. It's for free, and I'll link to it in my references again. And you can use it to read your ebooks on your computer. You can transcode them, or convert them. I'm used to video. Convert them to other formats so you can read them on your Kindle if you don't happen to have a Kindle version, or on your iPhone or your Android device. And it's really handy. So I would highly recommend it. I've played around with it a bit. You can see what I've got there. The Gulag Archipelago as well. I've been having trouble finding a decent, ebook copy. This one's a bit all over the place with the formatting. But this is another one I recommend everyone has a read. Particularly now. Particularly what's happening around the world and the pivot to socialism that we're having. Principles of economics. You can see I've got a few here. I've got a lot more to read. So yes, I recommend this program. So Calibre and Project Gutenberg, guys. If you want to go, a few suggestions for books to read would be, Meditations from Aurelius or Utopia. Utopia is a really interesting one if you haven't read it, because everyone's heard about, living in a utopian civilization. Well, have a look at what one could be. And if you're a fan of Utopia, do you think we should implement some of their processes here in Australia? Let me know if you've read it and what you think about it. So, though that is my first suggestion, is use this opportunity to read, and I think it's a pretty easy one that a lot of people are going to do. Now, the second suggestion I'm going to suggest or put forward to you is become a game developer or improve your digital skills. Now, I have another YouTube channel. Well, I've got a few YouTube channels, and one of them is Heise Games. And in this channel, I was doing daily vlogs of just my journey to try and become an indie game developer. A lot of that was using Unity or Blender, because Blender is an open source, free 3D modeling package that I can use for my architectural projects, for animations, and different things. So you can check that out. I'll link to it below. It's linked on the side of my channel. I've kind of struggled to keep up with the routine I suggested. I set myself a deadline of making a game before I'm 40. So I have to decide now the next few months if I'm really going to commit to that. Because what I ended up doing is, and I'd suggest you do this too if you start go down this journey, vlogging and getting content out there, I would do these time-lapse videos of every task I do. Like every day I'd do a little activity, a little tutorial, just to teach myself some skills. And I'd just do these time-lapse videos just showing how I would put together. And this one I'm looking at a tutorial of how to generate asteroids. And they're not the most efficient ones, but it was an interesting process. And I'll turn on some music here. So you can see it there. Check those out. That's an opportunity. The program to use, one I'd suggest, is Unity. Unity there's a free version if you want to learn how to make computer games. It's a good way to get started. There's lots of free learning resources there. I wouldn't spend any money on anything. I would just do it for free just to get started. Another one is Blender. Now, Blender is an open source free 3D modeling package. You can use it to make animations, movies. There used to be a game add-on. People use it for modding and other things. I used it back at university to do animations, to generate architectural form in an experimental way. So it's a great program. It's really got a lot more powerful since I've really been playing with it. So a lot of it has been me trying to learn how to use it again. So there's another suggestion. You can skill up and learn it all for free. There's also another, Lynda, Lynda. Lynda has online tutorials. Now, these are paid online tutorials. It's owned by LinkedIn now. I actually can get access to this for free from the Brisbane library. The library system here in Brisbane, I get free access to it. So you have to find out, maybe your library system will give you free access to these in your city. Because then you get a certificate, you can upskill, learn any new skills. Any piece of software you could imagine is available there. So it's a good way to improve your skills and your training. We used to get a lot of our staff, they were required to do the Rivet courses on Lynda before they got started because they were very thorough, very detailed. So there's two of my three suggestions. The first one is, the Marcus Aurelius and the reading, and the second one is looking at the digital courses. And the third, learn other skills. And the last one I had to learn was welding, was teaching myself how to weld. And now, some of you may have noticed there's an archery bow behind me. That's the skill I intend to learn now while I'm in lockdown. I would like to learn how to shoot a bow. And I mean, this is when I inherited my father's boat, and you can see here it's a dodgy 240p video, but I was welding parts of the trailer together so we could move it here, and that's another project I'm steadily avoiding doing. We've got so many chores and things around the house, it's crazy. But guys, this is another thing. I mean, learn to weld, learn to do woodwork, improve things around your home. That's why Bunnings are being flooded. And I can't say it was perfect. I can't say I don't have a lot more to learn about it, but something feels good about learning a new skill. My sister-in-law, who's moved in, she had never used a power tool before, and now she's, a week later, she's clad all her room in VJ, she's painted it all, she's sized it, she's cut it with the angle of a Queenslander. Nothing straight in a Queenslander, so you got to dodgy it, laid all the flooring. Now she's sitting there with power tools putting up the curtains. So it's looking at what's happening here. Can I loop it? I'll just loop it. Looking what's happening here and using it as an opportunity to learn new skills and to learn new things. Welding, I picked up a welding set from Cashies for $15. $15. Went and bought some sticks, because this is, stick welding. and got into it, played with it. It's good fun. I need to, construct a few other things now to store some weights, so I'll weld some steel together. I'd recommend it. So guys, there are 3 suggestions I've put to you. First one's definitely free. Second one is probably free, learning the software. Third one, welding. Okay, you can buy some welding equipment pretty cheap right now. Even look on Gumtree. You don't need to get close to people. So, what are your suggestions for what people could do during the lockdown? I want to make a few more videos like this of just different suggestions and things, just to get ideas out there and free resources. Because if you're not coming out of this process, with new skills, improving your skill stacks, you're missing an opportunity. I mean, there's one is getting fit. One of the reasons Rachel is happy for me to take up archery is so I can build up my arm strength. She wants the muscles in her husband. So there you go. So guys, once again, thanks for watching. Let me know your suggestions. What are you doing during this lockdown period? What would you recommend your friends? Take care. If you're a fan of the channel, please like, share, and subscribe. If you want to support us, there are a few ways you can. You can join the channel here on YouTube or on Patreon for a small monthly fee. You can use our affiliate links at Amazon or eBay for your consumer purchases. You can use our referral links at Independent Reserve or Kucoin for all the crypto traders out there. You can buy our merch from HeiseSays or Teespring. You can send us gold using Gold Pass. And finally, we have PayPal if you want to support us that way. Thank you all very much. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.